Welcome, I'm Marcie, best current independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm from Clovis, California. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening. So, as you know, or may not know, I had my grandkids all weekend. They came Friday, well, I went to their house Friday morning at 6 a.m. I'm going to just mute my computer because I've got a lot of messages popping in right now. So I got to go and watch the grandkids until they woke up, and then we came back to our house. They live a mile from us. And so at night we stayed there so they could stay in their beds. But it has been a very busy weekend. They left like 15 minutes ago. Papa took them back home because Mom and Dad drove back home. And so they met them there since we had our car seats in our car, and they took theirs out to travel. So we're like, we'll just bring them home. No worries. And anyway, it was a fun weekend. Little Brewer, he's 6 months old, and he is right on schedule. He goes to sleep. When it's nap time, it's nap time. He was sitting in my lap, and he was cooing and talking, and Rick sat in the chair next to me, and he goes, it doesn't look like he's ready for a nap, because he goes to take a nap at 11:30. And within seconds, he just looked up at me and just passed out. And I looked at him and I pointed to Brewer, and he was like we were both surprised. Like he was just like, oh, it's 11:30, I'm done. But it was fun. Poor Grayson, he's 6, and he was missing Mom and Dad really bad. But only at night when he went to bed is when he missed them the most. But it worked fine today. He said, well, that went by really fast. So I said, I hope you remember that next time. It really is not that bad. So anyway, it was a very busy weekend. And but I'm super excited to be here and show you this card. It was a card that I kind of had in my mind that I wanted to do, especially with the two-tone paper. And but then I decided after I did this card, there was more that I thought about that I wanted to do. So I'm going to show you that. Hello, Marilyn. How are you? Let's see. Let me refresh my screen here because it's doing weird stuff. I'm a little bit behind. There we go. Okay, so let's get through some quick announcements as usual. We never know when it's somebody's first time watching, or maybe missed some announcements. So I just want to quickly go over some items right now. So May Bingo. I am leaving on Saturday this week, and I will be coming back like 3 days before Bingo. So I am packaging up everything and getting it ready to go. If you want to participate in Bingo, you have plenty of time. I will cap it off at a certain number. We still have some kits, but I just want you to know you don't need to receive anything before Bingo. You'll get everything after. But if you want to see how that works, you can watch one of my older bingos, or I'll explain it before bingo starts, so don't worry about it. I looked, and I want to say 3 or 4 of the 5 cards are fancy fold. And it says 4 projects, and that's because the 5th project is a thank you gift from me, which is another card kit, and I do that video separately. But you'll get that online on one of my videos. Usually it's the one after Bingo, and so that you'll have and you'll be able to watch. So that's going to be a lot of fun this time. It's a lot of new product, so you'll get to use a lot of the new product. The paper share tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Pacific time is when my cutoff is for the paper share, and I have the paper share envelopes, everything ready to go for everybody so far that has signed up. And so please register as soon as you can so I can get all of those done and ready to go. Because what's going to happen with the paper share is I get to order tomorrow night at 11 o'clock my time, because that is Utah's time for Tuesday. And I will order and get it shipped overnight, which means that they'll ship it Tuesday morning and I'll get it Wednesday. That gives me Wednesday and Thursday to get the paper share done. Friday, I'd like to get it to the post office because I leave early Saturday morning. If I have to take it on Saturday or have them do a pickup or my son take it, I will. But I pick up my granddaughter on Friday, so the more I can get done, the better, faster. So Everybody that signed up, you are good to go. I've got your envelopes, not your mailing envelopes, but your packages for your paper share all ready to go. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Watching from Theodore, looking forward to seeing what you are going to have for us on tonight's live video. Oh, thanks, Susan. And I'm going to change it up a bit also. All right, so let's see. That's the paper share really quick. I have my tote class is still available. It is $50. We have 5 great projects for you. It is going to be a really fun class. I've already created the projects. I'm just waiting a little bit longer on how many kits to create. I have started creating them already. I just want to make sure we have it covered and I don't get bombarded with extra. Before I leave on Monday, I will cap it off and only show a certain amount of kits left so that I don't have to worry about that. That is going to be shipped out at the end of May. And I also need to wait for some new product to finish the kits up. So that is that. Let me make sure. So we have the new Notify Me I mentioned on Wednesday. So on the left side here, you'll see currently unavailable, and I had to shrink the screen. This was for the arches, that the everyday arches, and you just put your email in and hit Notify Me. So if something is unavailable but it's coming back, you can put your email in there and hit Notify Me. Then you're going to get an email, which is on the top right, that says you're on the list. Thanks for signing up. You'll be one of the first to know that the everyday arches, and it gives you the number, becomes available. Restock item goes quickly, so you can get the email and act fast. Well, sure enough, the very next day, I got an email saying the arches were in. It says, great news, your item have been waiting for now is available. So it tells you right away. So I was able to jump right on and grab those arches because I wanted to get another set. Okay, so that's super cool. I just wanted you to know that's available coming. It's available now. And then again, my special for the month, which I have ending May 5th because the new catalog starts the 6th. So any order with me through tomorrow evening, you will get your name into a drawing for the Impressions of Bloom bundle. I happen to have an extra one. I ordered one and I got one on stage for the after hours event. And so the one I received that was brand new, it is ready to give away. So hopefully you've got an order in. It doesn't have to be a certain amount. And then your name will go into the drawing for that. Alrighty. Hi, Christine. How are you? Hi, Cynthia. Oh, I have been busy for sure. Hi, Deb. So let's jump on and get busy. I will be here Wednesday, so let me just give you a brief little fingers crossed hope. My order will come in on Wednesday, and I'm hoping to get it kind of put together for you, to at least do an unboxing. It may not be as put together as usual because I want to get your paper share done. But I'm hoping to get an unboxing done on Wednesday. So come back on Wednesday. Make sure you do a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you click on the bell for the notification, and that way you'll know for sure that I have a video coming on. All right, let's get busy. So here's the card that I did, and I'm going to change it up a little bit and show you some different thoughts I had with the card that I wanted to do a little bit differently. So let's just get busy. Oh, my screen moved away. Oh, here we are. I'm like, where did my screen go? I added some new stuff and it kind of moved my little button. All right, so we're going to use several things. We're going to use, you know what I'm realizing is I am zoomed all the way in. Let's pull it out for a little bit so I can show you here. So in the gallery studio, which I had, the Gallery Blooms bundle, the suite is listed below, and I'm going to have to look because I think it's called Beautiful Gallery. Let me look at the name and the catalog because of course it's different name than the bundle, and I listed both for you so you have it. But now, since I don't know the catalog exactly yet. Let me just glance through here. Looking for the bundle or the suite. Okay, the suite is called Beautiful Gallery. It is 165217 and it's listed below in the description. And then I also listed the bundle Gallery Blooms and Beautiful Motifs, and I'll show you those right now. And I did not use the DSP, but the DSP is beautiful. But I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit, something different that you can do for this. Oh, thanks, Marilyn. Let's see. I can't wait for bingo on the 21st. My friend wants to know if there are any slots left. Yes, there are, Marilyn. And there's a link below in the description. It'll take you right to the bingo, and she can sign up there. Make sure she registers also, because that's where I need her address, numbers, and all that good stuff. Okay, so here we go. Gallery Blooms is this one here. So you've got these beautiful flowers, and they're like a hand-sketched look, which I love them. And then this is where that frame came in, which we are going to use on a Father's Day card in bingo. Spoiler alert. Then you've got all these items here, and then you've got the larger cutout items for the images here. So it looks like this one, and this one, I believe. Yeah. So these three, oh wait, this one. Hold on. These three. It's these three have these dies. And then these are some extra ones. This one here goes here. This one goes here. And then you've got more extra, some leaves and different things there. Okay. So there's that. So that's that one. And then the Beautiful Motifs, which are really cool, which we're going to use. And I showed you guys these when we did the unboxing, but I left them in here just to kind of show you. So we've got these images that die cut in the paper. All right, that you can kind of fold up if you want, however you want them on your project or in the background or whatever. And then here's the one with the larger leaf. So really cool. And that's this one and these two. This one actually cuts out. So this is a leaf and this cuts out. These are the ones that all do this type of thing. Okay, so there's those. And then the stamp set that goes with that is the Beautiful Motifs. Got some really nice sentiments. And today I used just a note. My first thought was I was going to stamp it on the circle. And then I decided, no, I'm going to pop it up and emboss it in silver. So that's what I did on that. But a lot of really nice sentiments and some images that are really nice. And this goes really nice with one of the papers in this bundle too. All right, and then I brought in the Spotlight of Nature. We're going to use the circles. And then the Damask Designs embossing folder. And I might have forgotten to put this on the description below. I had very little time today to run in here and do that. Like I said, he didn't take his nap, so I didn't get my shower until who knows what time it was. So let's get busy. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to show you, I brought in the circles and I decided to do 2 of them now instead of the 1. So we're going to add a little more silver on the front here. And then I'm going to show you which ones I used. So the second one I used was this one, and which is the one I used on here. So I decided to go to the larger one, which is this one. And so I wanted a lot of silver on it. So we'll see how that comes out. So what I decided to do, this is basic gray. I decided to replace basic gray with the silver. So this one, and that was me. I kind of bent the paper right there. But I took the circle out because we're going to layer this up on top anyway. And so you're not going to feel that there's a hole. Now, if I were to put the silver on the inside, I wouldn't put that circle here because this is where you're going to be writing. And also, if it was just DSP and you put something small here, I wouldn't want you to see or feel that circle or see through the backside or anything. So I didn't do that there, but I don't mind doing it on the front. Okay, so that is, I went ahead and I left the gray on the inside. All right, So here's the card base. We're going to move that over. I did already emboss our little sentiment because honestly I wasn't sure if my grandkids were still going to be here or what. So when I did this one, I made an extra just so I had it just in case. So let's start stamping with the inside. And we're going to use these little flowers here, and we're going to use the large one. Okay, so the smaller one and the larger one. And I am going to come in closer because we are going to be doing a little bit of coloring and some different techniques that I wanted to show you. So I didn't want black. I wanted the card to be a little softer, so I brought in the basic gray. Hi, Carmen. How are you? Hi, Cheryl. All right, so we're going to just do this in basic gray. And I'm just going to add that right there. Look how pretty that is. Such a pretty stamp. All right, so we'll move that over. And then on our larger one, we're going to move this over here for right now and bring in our white. And I want to, okay, see how the stamp hangs off over here? I don't like that because when you come back up here, it's going to hang off on top. So if I turn it over, because our foam mat sticks out, it's much better to do it this way because you're not getting any edges. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to stamp this like, okay, now that I took a while, I like to make sure it's really inky when I first do it. So let's do that again. All right, here we go. I don't know what made me think I was going to go sideways. Hi, Margie. How are you? Thanks, Deb. Oh, yeah, Carmen. Cloud cover would be really pretty. Thank you, Margie. I can't wait to get the cloud cover. Sorry, I was reading. Got sidetracked. Okay. So look how pretty that looks versus the black would be very bold. And I wanted this to be a little softer looking. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to color this. So let's start first. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. And I'm going to bring in my thing here. So the silicone mat, just so you can see it a little bit better. I just think the white on white is just, and then this gives me a little space, even though I have it over here to color. So what I've chosen is the soft sea foam and the bubble bath. So we're going to start, let's do our leaves first. And so we are going to start with the light. Normally I like to start with the dark, but these are such a small spaces. I'm going to start with the light, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to use, look at the light right here. That's the small tip. And then I'm going to use the bigger tip. Sometimes you have more ink on one than the other. Then this is the dark. And then this is the dark. Okay, so I've obviously been using the bullet tip more than the brush on whatever I've been using this with. And so I'm going to use the brush on the darker, but I'm going to start with the light anyway. And the light are both pretty much the same, so I'm just going to go in and do everything in light. Because it's such a light color, I like to do the light so that the dark stays on top and does not get blended with the light, just because it's such a light color. So I'm just going to do all the leaves in the light soft sea foam. You can be really light-handed, especially when you've got these little tiny tips to color. All right. All right, so that is it. I'm just looking. Now this space right here, you could actually make those green or pink. I'm going to make them green this time because you know how there's little leaves at the bottom of your flowers. That's definitely a petal, but like these right here. So I'm going to do these green just so it kind of gives it that little illusion that that's those types of leaves right there. All right, now we're going to take in the dark, and the dark brush is darker. So I'm going to go with the brush, and I'm just going to go down the middle. You don't have to be super neat about it. Oh, I'm going to do the base too. And you can come back in with the light and lighten it up a little bit if you want. This stem right here is in the back. I'm going to go and make it dark because it's kind of back there in the shade. This little petal here is flipped over. I'm going to do it darker. And I'm going to go down the center and then just kind of down here by the flower. That's such a small leaf. I'm not going to do down towards the flower. I'm just going to do the center. So I will do the center of this one down towards the bottom. This one. And then this one I'm going to do the whole bottom half of that leaf. Kind of like that's where the shading's at. So now you can tell that you've got just a little bit of some different coloring there. And you don't have to. You could just do your normal dark and light, and then you can take the light back in and blend it up, but I think that's fine. And sometimes when you do it, you're like, oh, that doesn't look so great. But once you add the flowers and do everything, you'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the light. And I'm just going to color the inside here. I don't want it, it's a lot of black already, but I don't want it pink. I want it to look like it had a little something on the inside. And so I'm just adding like right around where the black, like where the stamens would be. So just to add a little something different right there. And that's what I did on this one. But then I added Winkostella, and I didn't like the Winkostella, so we're going to change that too. All right, now we're going to do our flowers. So we're going to do the same. Let's bring in the light, and let's do the bullet first. Okay, oh, here, I'll do a little bigger so you can see it. Okay, that's the light. And then this is the brush. Now, this is what I did differently. You can tell I used the brush on this because even the light is pretty dark. And so I decided to, we're going to change that up just a little bit. All right, so that's the light, and then we're going to go to the dark. Okay, there's the dark. Bullet and brush. And look how different those look. So I've obviously used the brush way more. Oh gosh, don't look at my nails. They are so grown out. Yay, tomorrow's nail day. Yay. I was trying to hold out, but I can't hold out any longer. Okay, we're going to start with the light, and because I want the flower lighter, I'm going to use the bullet. So we're going to use the thinner line and use the bullet, and we're pretty much going to color everything in like we did the leaves. All right. So let's see if we can hurry and do this. I don't know what it is about holding babies in chairs, but boy, I was in my recliner, which is a rocking chair until I recline it. And every time I would hold him after he'd eat or went right before nap time, I was going to fall asleep too. My husband's like, don't fall asleep. Like, I'm not going to drop him. He's already fallen asleep on me. But those are the best snuggles, right? I told my 6-year-old Grayson, I go, look, he lets me snuggle him and kiss him and hold him. I go, you used to. And he goes, I will, after I'm done playing Minecraft. He was watching a Lego thing on Minecraft. I think that's what he was doing. All right, so just color it in. And what's nice is with the light color is you can do it really fast. But you notice how much lighter the pink is. than what it was on that other card, and I'll compare them in a minute so you can see. So I'm not really blending anything right now, so it really doesn't matter how I'm doing it. You just don't want to go too much so where it starts bleeding over into your other colors. Yay, almost there. All right, so there's our light color. Now you can already tell the difference. Look at the difference in this. So make sure you check your colors and which tip you want to use, because if you've been using these, they're not as vibrant sometimes, which is a lot of times really good, because this is the look I wanted. If I pull out a new set, let's see, this one is dark, okay, and this is dark, and then this is the medium, to me, medium between these three. So I want dark, I'm going to use the bullet. And I'm just going to go on the lines. And then I go right on the lines if there's another leaf right there, and I just squiggle. Okay, so I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to squiggle at the bottom. Okay, and just squiggle, kind of like flower leaves, like you can go up higher, lower. See how I just did these lines where you can see that like some are lower and some are higher. And I just want to make some shadow where like the petals come together. And I'm even going over that black space right there because I want it a little darker. And then this big leaf right here, I'm just going to go down the side a little, add a little character. We're not done with those, so. And then I'm just going to come down. This is the outside leaf, so you want it on that part, not this part, because it goes above. Oh, and I'm also going to go around here. And I'm just going to squiggle. All right. Now those are all kind of the same, so you can just throw a couple extra long ones in there. Okay. And we're going to come back, so don't worry about it looking like this is underneath. I'm going to put a little dark right there. This looks underneath, so I'm going to do a little darker. Just think of how these petals are coming out, and this shadow and the okay, I like to put a little bit on each one. Okay, so I think that looks good. And now I'm going to go back to the light, and again, make sure you're on the bullet tip. And I'm just going to feather it just a little. Just kind of go over like the bigger spots. And they'll kind of bleed and blend a little bit. Just so they're not so harsh. So you can tell the difference now how you lightened that one up to this one. So see how it's lightly blended, and these are a little more harsh marks. And don't do a whole lot, because it will, when you move on, it will continue to kind of blend it a little bit, because it's alcohol, so. All right, There we go. And so after I cut it out, it looks like this. Now the other thing you could have done is you could have done the whole thing. I could have embossed it in silver and then done it, and that's a whole different look. Question, why do the tips show different shade of color when I thought the ink is inside the whole marker too? You know what, Sherry, that's a good question, because I thought so too, and I'm sure it is. I'm not taking one apart, but I just know that when I use one a lot, and because I store them sitting down, and I know when they start getting dry, one end starts to get dry and then the other one starts to get dry. So I think it's just, if I've used it a lot like this, maybe the ink comes back down this way and that's why the other end is lighter. I don't know. But I always just kind of check it so that I know which color I am wanting for my project. So that's a really good question. The flower is not a leaf. It's a, oh yeah, it is a petal. You're right. Well, no, like this one, what I'm thinking is like these right here are the leaves that come from the bottom of the flower. So you have the stem and then these that come out, but they're green. And then you've got the flower. And that's what I wanted to do with, I didn't do it on this one, but I did it on the one on this one, to make it kind of look like these. And so, I mean, it's just an option to make it look like a leaf. All right, so we're going to use this one because I don't, I'm already done with it. But let's do this really quick. Let's do the light. We're going to do the bullet, and we're going to do this really fast too because we want it to match. Really fast. Now, you don't even have to add darker if you don't want, but I'm going to go in and just do a little bit. Not much, because it's so little. Like so little, but I just want to kind of add a little bit of darker color. All right. And then we're going to take the light again and just kind of blend it a little bit. I do too, Deborah. It's really, really pretty color. All right, there we go. And we're going to do our green. Now, another thing you could do with your green is you could take it right down the stems of the flower to add that little more green in there, but you don't really have to do that. I think I did on this one. I'll show it to you in a second. The original one I did. All right, and then I'm just going to take this and just go down my leaf. And down here, I'm going to do the whole thing because it's shaded. It's underneath. This part here is underneath, and this one is on top. All right, so what was I showing you? That's how tired I am. I picked it up to show you and I don't remember. I don't know. You guys will have to remind me. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. They are, Anna, that's for sure. Oh, thank you, Judith. Okay, so this is going to go on the inside. So let's go ahead and we can put this. I honestly wasn't thinking I was going to make it tonight because little Brewer was not taking a nap and Mom and Dad weren't getting back into town until 4:40. I had no makeup on until, oh, I don't know, 4:50 after they left. I had been rocking in the recliner and fallen asleep with, oh, what happened here? Oh, this is the wrong one. Whew, look at me. I was like, that doesn't fit. All right, we're going with the basic gray on the inside. There we go. So we can put that on the inside. And we could have put a sentiment. Let's see what this says. because we put just a note, wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. That would be great for a wedding card. I'm here for you always. So just a note, I'm here for you always. You've been on my mind. Thinking of you. Thank you for everything. So a really great set. I really like it a lot. All right, so let's put this on and move it aside. Like I said, if you wanted to put silver in here, you could. Oh, hello. You are way too close. There we go. There we go. Okay, so there's our inside. And now for the outside. Now this is the two-tone paper. So I wanted to show you. Here is the piece I cut off here. And I'm sure you probably have seen this before already, but it's a two-tone paper. And so if you wanted to rip it towards you and give it kind of more of a vintagey, distressed kind of look, then you could put that on the edge and it would go up against the silver or the gray. Oh, here's the gray. Let's show you here. So see, you would have that white on there for an edge, which is really cool. And then if you didn't want that, but you wanted it torn, you can turn it and it's upside down and there's no white to see. But it is on this side because it's the center of it is white. I love two-tone paper. I've used it a lot. And one of my favorite techniques is this one, which has been online a lot. But I wanted to see it, so I thought I'm going to do it right now. So we're going to take our demasked designs. I'm going to put it right up with the line because I want my images to be straight. So we're going to just put that right on the line like that and close it. I've already measured it to cut how I want to. Now you could cut after, but you definitely don't want to die cut after because it'll smash your embossed images on your paper. So I always like to cut first, then emboss. All right, so I believe I cut, yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, when you first die cut it, emboss it. All right, hi Teresa. All right, oh, the inside stem. Thank you, that's what I was gonna show. Okay, well, you can't really tell, but I did. So I took the green and I went down the stems. So you're not gonna be able to tell on screen, but you can tell in person just a little bit. That it looks green, so but you don't have to do that because sometimes if it goes outside the line it's a little more than what you wanted, but anyway, sometimes I do that. All right, so for here what I'm going to do is I am going to put a larger silicone mat underneath, which I have a larger one here. And what I like to do, because it's going to make a mess, if you have a used up, let me see what I have here, because I'd rather use something easier to use. How about my Stampin' Storage invoice? We could use that. I have a printed one. All right, so let's use that. So if you had one of your grid sheets that were used up, but I'm going to take this off in case I scrape my hand on it. Now what I want to do is I like to do this so it keeps the dust, and I have these blocks. These I cut in half. They're bigger. Let me show you how they come. And you could use the nail file, ones too, whatever you have, and a sanding block. You just want it to be kind of fine. And this is, this might be, I don't know if there's a number on this, but I would just put sanding sponge is what this one's called. I put sanding block. A fine sanding block, and you'll have a ton of options. And this one, I don't think there's an item number, but I'll post it. I'll link it below after the video. But I like those because they're a little firmer to last longer. And then what you want to do is you want your raised part up. Okay, this is not a 3D embossing folder, so it did not, you can't see the white yet because it's not cracked or anything with the larger impressing from the embossing folder. But on this one, on a regular embossing folder, it's a little, flatter. So you just take your block flat and just be careful because it will crinkle up your paper if it catches the corners really bad. So just kind of be careful. And I want to make sure that all of it is white. So you could take a corner and just kind of make sure you get the center of your damasked images if you want. And you don't want to do too much because you don't want to cause a hole in your paper, but you definitely want to get that top image. All right, and I just kind of, don't worry about moving your hand around, move your paper around. That's another thing, having something nice underneath to move around. You don't want to mess up your wrist. I jammed my wrist, but my bad wrist, I don't know, I was going into my grandson's room and I don't know if the dog ran under me or what happened, but it was just weird how I opened up the door at 4:30 a.m. All right. See how all this dust is collecting on here? And that way it's not on your workspace. And so do you see how I was like this and I was working and I can't see what's down here? I want to see all of what I need to do. So I just move it once I started here and came back up, and now I'm just kind of going back up to the spots that I've not gotten. And I just want to make sure that they're all white. Now, we are covering a lot of them up on this particular card because we did that larger circle. And so, but that's okay. You're going to see enough of it. Now, I just take a tissue. I always just have a tissue that I just wipe that extra off. All right. And now I can just throw this back away. All right. And there you go. So now you have this really cool look on your card. You can get the sand blocks at Dollar Tree. Oh yeah, Deborah, I'm sure you can. Perfect. All right. So now we have our image done. We are going to put it onto the silver instead of the basic gray. So, I was going to, like, as soon as I can find my mat, which happens to be right in front of me. All right, if I get out of screen, let me know, because now I know you guys are a lot closer. But I think we'll be okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add seal first. And I know it's embossed. That's okay. We have a hole in the bottom. Now, you want to be careful because this is, number one, it's not DSP and it's not cardstock. This is thinner than cardstock, thicker than DSP. Okay? But you want to be careful because you also distressed it by using the sand block, and you don't want to rip your paper or anything. So you want to do it really carefully. And I am going to, the only thing about being closer, sometimes my head gets in the way. I realized that a minute ago when I saw my head in the way, and I was like, I was so proud of myself that lately my camera angle was perfect because my head wasn't in the way. Now I know why. It's because I didn't have this view on. Okay, now we can go ahead and put this on the card, but we want to add our ribbon first. So this one, I added the ribbon across the circle because I wanted to add it and make this a bow within the ribbon. But I think I'm going to change it this time because this is going to be so big that I'm afraid that's not going to work. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. And I'm not sure if I want to do a bow or what I'm going to do yet, but I do know I need my ribbon. So, so going across, you would barely see any. So don't waste your ribbon unless you do want it across your circle. And I don't think I want to do that. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. I'm going to bring this back in because this one I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I liked that I showed a lot of the silver though. So if we put that, and I did want to bring this down. I felt like this was a little too high, just a little bit. Oh, Paula, no. Does it give you the grit number? It might on the link, but let me double check. It says 0.2 pounds, and on the back, 6 pieces of sanding sponge, washable and reusable. It just says NG001-120. So I don't know if that's what that is, because it has a different language next to that. So hopefully it'll be on the link. I just took a shot in the dark and was hoping that that would be a good one. All right. So what we're going to do is we're not stamping on this or anything because we do have our sentiment here. So I do know that I want to pop this up, the white up only, because I really want to see the silver. And I want that to be kind of a fun focal point. So let's put our embellishment, I don't know why I always call these embellishments, our dimensionals on the back here. And as soon as I'm done here, I will post the link on the bottom of the video for it. All right. Now we're going to put that there. So let's move this. And see, you can see the seal a little bit right there, but we're going to add liquid glue anyway, because I don't want it to go anywhere. All right. All right, so there we go. Yay. All right. Now let's go ahead and put this one on the card because I'm not going to put the ribbon around it. It's such beautiful ribbon. I just don't want to not see the ribbon and use just a tiny bit. Now right here is where I'm going to add a little bit of glue. GT120 is the grit. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, there goes our geese flying by. I haven't been stamping. You can tell my glue is, well, it doesn't feel clogged, but I might have laid it down when I used it last. And so we don't need a lot. We have our seal, but I definitely want to just add some glue so it doesn't go anywhere. All right. Yay. All right, that's where our seal is, and then this is where our glue is at. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to glue this down, but I think I'm going to make it my panel first, and then I'll do it because I have some thoughts what I want to do. So we're going to put this on here. Now, one of the other things I wasn't that thrilled about with this one is this stem. Number one, this is popped up and this is popped up on top of this. So this would have to have 2 dimensionals under it, and I didn't want that. So I'm going to do something with this card that I will end up doing with this one too. So I'll show you that when I get there. But we are going to pop this up for sure. So we can add our dimensionals on there now. And I'm going to add 2. One here, 1 and 1. And I think what I like to do is these little triangles over here are perfect, which is like a half a dimensional. Right? So I'm going to take those off, and I always like to do the curve with the leaf. I don't know why. Just when it's a smaller leaf, it's easier for you not to worry about it being seen. I don't think I need both of these. I think I'm just going to do this one like that. And that's good. Oh no, I think I'm going to do a little one right there, so my flower doesn't cave in. And because I think I'm going to put some ribbon, I'm debating. I like putting a bow right here, so I want to do that, but I'm kind of thinking that I might add a little more ribbon behind here, but I'm not quite sure yet. Like, let's just say that this is a wedding card. All right, let's just do it. Why not? All right. So what we're going to do is this is going to go here. And so I am going to add a little bit of adhesive right there. And I'm going to just twist this up to kind of, oops, that's not what I want. Twist this up to kind of go like this. Okay, because you're not going to see a whole lot of it anyway. All right. Let's see what that looks like. And we know this has to be glued down. All right. Now this might go off the edge. That's my only concern. And we can turn it too, but what do you think? Something like that? Is that too much? Maybe we'll do it like that. We're going to turn this one like this. We'll simplify the bow a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add some seal right there. And that's going to be fine because we're going to glue on top of that. All right, let's put that here. And I'm going to pull this up a little bit. All right, let's see what we can get. We're going to make it fancy because it could be a wedding card. We could always change the sentiment on it, but I like just a note. I would put this ribbon, a lot of ribbon on a card, telling somebody how fantastic they are. All right, let's see. I want this to go this way. And all right, we're going to put it like that. That ribbon's not going anywhere. All right, let's see. So we have our little tail here that we could pull if we needed and bring it down just a little bit. And then the other one you can't see, and I'm okay with that. All right, we're going to take our sentiment and I'm going to just do a little like that. I always do top left, so top left. All right, so we're going to do that. Add our dimensionals. That's right, never too much. I completely agree. This loop might be a little big and we might have to do a little surgery, but that's okay, we'll work it out. I'm going to put 3 because of course now we need a bow. We can't not have a bow. This is a foofy card, right? All right, so let's do a bow. I'm just going to do a 2. No, I'm going to do a 3 loop. Let's just do 3. I kept trying to tell my oldest, Grayson, oh, look at me, that it was his turn for diaper duty whenever I knew that it was a big diaper. And he was like, no, no, I don't do diaper duty. I take them to the trash can. Like, oh, good to know. Then all weekend he said, oh, I've been doing chores all weekend. I said, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been taking the diaper to the trash can. I go, that is not a chore. That is helping your Ani out. Chores are me telling you have to go do the yard work. He's like, oh. Well, I thought it was a chore. All right, there we go. There we go. So there is our bow. All right. Okay. Yay. So we're going to add this here. I'm going to move it up a little bit, right by that flower. It is a bougie card. That's right, Anna. You know me. The bougier, the better. All right. So I like to put a glue dot so it sticks right away, but then I like to add some liquid glue so it definitely doesn't go anywhere. All right, so now this guy right here, I think is sticking out too far for me, but we could always turn it and angle it like this one was. But then I feel like this is too far out. So let's see if we lift this guy up carefully. I should have laid him. Yeah, see, we've got this ribbon just sitting here saying I'm hiding. But it might be stuck already. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. Much better. That's a little much. There we go. Okay. Looking better, looking better. All right, so we can, and I don't need it turned too much now. All right, so I'm going to liquid this on because this is embossed. So I like to put a good amount because this is your main focus point. I don't want it to fall off. And this is dimension. And one more time, I'm going to take that tissue because I don't want the dust to be on there, and that's what this adheres to. I want to make sure it's nice and clean. And I wanted to try another technique with this. So if you hold on a second, we'll try it, give it a try. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. All right. See, now we have liquid, so we can move this over just a little bit. I like that it's down a little farther, but not that much. About there is good. All right, now, I still don't like the stem, so I am going to cut the stem, not all the way off, but I'm gonna go with the white circle, so you can still see the stem, but it's really a cluster of flowers. Because taking the whole stem off, I mean, you don't have to. You could, I guess. And then I'm going to take this. And now I'm going to put different embellishments on too. And I like to tuck right in with, let's line this up. My husband was laughing at me because last night, while we were watching the kids at their house, watching TV, I was putting labels on our paper share envelopes. And I finally finished last night. I won't tell you what time it was because, of course, I was on baby duty in the middle of the night. But I finished them. And my husband said, do you realize it took you more than 5 hours to put all those labels on the paper share? I said, yeah, well, no. Okay, so on this one, the sequins I put on are the retired Celebration purple adhesive backed, and I used the pink. And I know this one on screen kind of looks purple. It's just the way it reflects, and the rest look pink. So I would be mindful of that and replace that with a pinker one. So when you look at these and you move these around, like this one is definitely pinker, I'm going to switch those out. But because this one is more bougie, I am, of course, going to go with my Drewsies because those are my absolute favorite. And so I'm going to go with a large one here and a small one up here. Okay, and then I'm going to take another small one, which these are not very small. I'm just going to tuck it right in here. If I had a little more room over here, I might put it up here, but I don't. So I'm just going to put it there. So we've got our our bougie droozies. Bougie droozies. Wow. Say that a few times. But I think that that looks a lot more bougie with having our embellishments being the droozies, adding the silver. We added silver out here. You definitely could have added and embossed this image in silver, but I kind of think I like the gray just because it kind of softens this all up and you could really see the image of the flower. And then this one, like I said, I used the darker side of the pink. Where's the flower I just did? Make sure you check your inks, because you use one side or the other more. Some people tend to use the brush. I use the brush a lot, but it depends on if it's a larger image than a smaller image. If it's smaller, I like to use the bullet, and I tend to be using that a lot more often anyway. I think I have a little more control over it. And so what do you guys think about the stem being gone? You can kind of more focus up here than this big old long thing sticking out. So I'm not a huge, now this one, it's only the white and past it. And I'm not going to go to that because that'll make it really short. But I'm going to go just past it. And I do it at a little angle. And so it's still there, but it's just not this big long stick sticking out. But yeah, this is such a beautiful set. I can't wait to do something with these. Because I love daisies, and I think these look like a daisy type flower with the big centers. They look kind of like dogwoods, but the petals don't look so much like dogwoods. And this one looks really pretty too. And this has a leaf. I've got to cut them out for bingo. Where is it? It's right here. So you could stamp this and pop. I think this might go right over that. Oh, maybe not exactly because this leaf's missing. But you could pop it up to be a portion of that same leaf if you were to stamp it. But you could also, let me see. No, it's got some different flowers, but it does. Oh no, right here you could probably use that same one, same style. I don't think it goes with the stamp, but say you could do a die cut. I like it without the stem. Okay, yeah, me too. You like the creative process of changing the card. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did the card and then I was like, oh man, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have done something a little different. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to add the silver around the outside. And then today I said, oh, what if I add the silver circle? Oh, let's see, you get a bright light right there. There's some outside light right there. So really pretty, elegant. It would be a great, like a wedding card. It's very flat, even with that ribbon under there. It's very flat. Let's see. Thought there was a question. I'm not a silver fan. Nancy, I'm not a big embossing silver fan. It just has to be the right thing. But I love silver on cards. I missed what Deborah said. Deborah, it's a Marcie card, Anna. Oh, who would? Oh, thank you. You guys have seen my non-Marcie cards. Oh, I still haven't shown those. Oh, I will. I will show them. Not today and not this week, but the end of the month maybe. Because those are the cards that we did at our retreat, and it was called a Stampy game, and we had to make fast cards. It was about quantity, not quality. Whew. I took it to heart. I didn't at first until Sherry said, you're taking this way too serious. And I was like, okay. And then I went all crazy, and it was very stressful for me. It was over and I was like, whew, I was just, hi Sherry. You have the proof and pictures. I know you do. Ugh. Let's see. So the last thing I want to tell you guys is don't forget there's a join special right now. It is for $99, you can get $165 in product, and that starts on Tuesday. And so all of the new catalog items, I know you're going to find more than $165 in this catalog. It is an amazing catalog, and you won't want to miss out. You don't have to do it as a business. A lot of people say, oh, I won't do videos. I'm just my own customer. That is fine. even you and your friends, you can do it just to get the discount. It's totally worth it. If you have left Stampin' Up and decide, you know what, I kind of want to go back, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I've heard a lot of people, they want to either, they've lost their demonstrator for one reason or the other. They've had to leave Stampin' Up. It's still, you can rejoin. So don't get discouraged on not having that same upline if you don't have her or him. You can choose whoever you want. So make sure you think about that. But I would just love for you to go back and be a demonstrator because it's just so much fun. She signed her name. I did sign my name, not Marcie. We had to put our cards out and everybody, so Sherry could go take pictures. And she said, put your name at the bottom. And I said, not Marcie. Thanks, Deborah. Oh, you're welcome, Stacy. I was so glad I got to be here tonight. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Fingers crossed with an unboxing. But your paper shares are coming first. I want to make sure those get out by Friday. Saturday at the very latest. So I will get those out for you. I know, Janine, I think she's got some blackmail on me, these pictures. I've got a few of her that she's not going to show my pictures. Carol, I hope your moving and unpacking is going well. I know you're getting your craft room ready, so that's good. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week. I am tired. I am going to get off of here. I've got a lot to do this week to get ready for my trip. I am super excited about it because we were able to switch out our Universal tickets for Universal Epic, the new Universal Epic, whatever. They have preview tickets that they are allowing so many people to come in early and see it because it wasn't going to open until the week after our trip. And so we were going to miss it. But they ended up having preview tickets. And so we got them. And so we're really excited about that. So you're going to see Universal and the Magic Kingdom from us. So look for those pictures next week. All right, everybody, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Nancy. I will. Thank you, Marilyn. Yes, please, a thumbs up, everybody. And I will see you Wednesday. Bye, everybody.